Morning. It's day 16. Yeah. So we decided to record the morning vlog while on our way to breakfast, mainly because we're obviously in different rooms in the morning, and we're also in a bit of a rush to get out of them because we have a long drive today.
Yeah.
We're driving to El Paso, which is about a 9-hour drive.
El Paso.
Yeah. We've done a similar drive from Orlando to New Orleans, so we know it's possible. It's just a matter of sort of discipline and leaving at the right times and not staying too long and all that. So we'll try and make that work as we go. Alright, so we did fulfill our promise and we came back to Waffle House for breakfast. So this time we swapped. Mark got the waffle with chocolate chips and the hash brown and the side. And I got the thing that Mark got, which is the Texas cheese melt with the hash browns. I will say, scattered hash browns, not something I would have ever expected, but I guess it's basically just French fries, right? Shredded potato and then fried, so it makes sense. And we got our drinks. Once we finish this, we'll be heading off on the road to El Paso. So yeah, exciting. We'll see you then.
On the road to the way.
The pass. Anyway, see you soon. Bye. Alright, so we've made our first stop, proper stop on the way to El Paso. We've driven for about 3 hours, which was, you know, pretty good time, and we've stopped for lunch. We've got about another 5 hours to go, although we are getting an hour back today because, like Florida, Texas has a little bit of it that's in a different time zone. So I'll put another picture here.
Right on.
And, yeah, Mark's face somewhere in the middle, something like that.
It's a good face to put at.
And so we're effectively getting an hour today, which is nice. But we decided to stop. Well, there weren't many options, but there's a petrol station called Love's, and there's a Subway and a chicken shop inside, so we got a little bit of both. And they do foot-long sides here, not only foot-long subs. So Mark got a foot-long churro.
Foot-long churro, but they also do a foot-long pretzel and a foot-long cookie. Now, I don't know if that's actually, I didn't get the chance to ask if that's actually a full cookie foot-long, but that would be really impressive if it was.
Yeah, so it turns out they do things differently here, so that's pretty cool.
It's all bigger in Texas.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to have our lunch here and then probably record a bit of a time lapse. So we'll be on to do a driver swap, so Mark will start driving, and we'll make our way towards El Paso. Yeah, see you soon. Bye. Alright, so there's only about an hour and a half away till El Paso. You can see that on the map here. The arrival time is, I mean, technically accurate to the current time zone. Like I mentioned before, we'll actually be arriving around 6 o'clock in the local time zone because we're doing the time zone change. We're going to mountain time now. We were on central time, and now we're going to be mountain time. Now the drive for the last 3 hours has mostly been sort of desert and mountain ranges and things like this. Previously, a lot of the deserts had a lot of shrubbery, although I would sort of notice that the shrubbery is sort of dying down a bit. Feels like we're getting into a sort of drier desert area now. We've definitely noticed that the stops have become, like rest stops and areas have become a lot less frequent. They feel a lot more like Australia, where you can go many, almost 100 k's without seeing another Macca's or another stop. Whereas previously the interstate seemed to have rest stops every 2 miles or 3 miles or something. So we've definitely noticed that it's more sparse around here, but it's still frequent enough that it's all fine for the drive, and we're definitely able to stop when we need to. So probably record another time lapse. We should be able to get to our hotel within like an hour and a half. I'll show you a little bit of that, and then we'll probably go out for dinner and maybe get some Mexican food, given that the place we're staying in is called El Paso. Maybe get something else that's Texan. I guess we'll find out our options when we get there.
So to give you an idea on the weather, it's currently about 42 degrees. And to prove how hot it is, if you just rotate the camera, we've put Pocky in the air vents of the AC just to cool it down because it was melting so badly. That was a genius idea thought of by Jacob. But honestly, I've been driving now for about, what, 3.5 hours?
Yeah.
I haven't felt it. Like, the road's so straight. I enjoy the speed, which is good. And yeah, it's just straight road, admiring God's creation, admiring the landscape. And lately we've been seeing like little small mini twisters or wind, what do you call them? Like
tornadoes.
Tornadoes, yeah. Actually pretty cool. We actually drove through a dust storm. Not necessarily because it was actually a dust storm, but there was a truck on the side of the road kicking up a bunch of dust, and it swept over the entire highway. That was a little bit scary because I couldn't see anything, but apart from that, it's been pretty good.
I've just been looking outside at this view at the moment. I don't know how well it can be seen through the widescreen, but it feels like it looks pretty cool. This is sort of the desert landscape that I imagined a bit more of, and I think we'll see a bit more of today and also tomorrow when we're in Arizona. So yeah, that's all pretty exciting. So I'll show you a bit of the time lapse and then we'll see you soon. Bye. We're still driving, but we're in El Paso, and the way you know is that is Mexico. That's the border wall, and we're literally on the border of Mexico and the US. Yeah, if you're ever curious about where we are, we know exactly.
I didn't know that the wall was see-through. Like, apparently it's a bunch of metal poles built next to each other, and Jacob was just saying, probably pay attention to where I'm going.
So there have always been like poles and fences and stuff that was making up the border. I think when Trump came in, they did try to make the fences and the wall higher, and they did look into a bunch of different designs. And I think these sort of metal poles were one of the preferred designs for cost. I know that his original promises, I think, were that it was going to be concrete and like 10 feet tall and 3 meters wide or whatever, but it just didn't make sense to lay that thick concrete for such a long time. So it ended up with something that's like this, which is more just those separated steel bars. So I know the border wall doesn't completely run across the entire border because some of the border is mountains and it's very hard to get up there, but they started building in like the easiest places where there sort of was a fence already, and that's what's been extended out.
But apparently this is climbable according to Jacob, so I'm not sure how much purpose it serves as a border wall, but
there were some videos of people climbing it. I think the plates they put at the top make it a little bit harder, so maybe that was done in response. Like they say, where there's a will, there's a way. Anyway, just wanted to show you that, and then should be showing you our room soon. So yeah. Right, we've arrived at our place in El Paso, Texas. And this is definitely the nicest place we've booked so far. And also, somehow, the cheapest place we've booked so far.
So on Booking.com it had a rating of 9.1. We haven't stayed anywhere with a rating that high of Booking.com. We were kind of skeptical, but looking at the place, it's actually quite nice.
The whole thing was 100 USD. But anyway, let me show you around first. So it's an apartment. It's a 2-bedroom apartment. So there's couches, there's TV, there's a whole kitchen area that is separate with a nice dining table, a full-size fridge, and a kitchen and everything. We then will go upstairs to where all the living areas actually are. And as you will see, we'll have 2 bedrooms. We've basically booked out someone's house or apartment for a bit. It's a bit, I think, a bit like an Airbnb, but just through Booking.com. So yes, this is the bathroom is through here. The lights on. There's also a fan as well. And then this is bedroom number 1. Nice and spacious, got its own TV and its own sort of walk-in cupboard and stuff. And then we go to bedroom number 2. There's a shared cupboard out here, and then bedroom number 2 is just here. And it has its own walk-in cupboard as well. So this is quite a nice space. It's kind of a shame we're only here for a night. I know we said that the other day as well. But also it's nice and sort of comforting to be here and have our own rooms separate. So the plan for the rest of the day is basically just dinner. We're a bit tired from the long drive. And then sort of coming back, chilling out for a bit, and then getting ready for tomorrow where we actually go to Arizona. So that's fun. But anyway, we'll see you soon. Bye. All right, we've just come back from dinner. We did originally want to have some Mexican food, but a lot of the Mexican shops were closed, I think partly because it's Sunday and they're Catholic. But there was one open, although when we walked in, the person told us, mostly in Spanish, that the place was closed, or maybe just not open to us, I'm not sure. So we ended up going to a Sonic sort of drive-in instead. We were meaning to try it anyway along our journey, and it was alright. Picture of a burger here. It was sort of what you would expect from fast food. But we're back now, and it's about 7:30 local time, and I think the plan is basically to just stay back here till then. It's probably the earliest we've called it a night, well, probably ever in this entire trip. But I think with all of the driving and all of the sort of exhausting stuff, we probably need the extra break. So I don't think there'll be another follow-up vlog after this one. Just assume we had a quiet night, did a couple of things. I mean, I guess if something interesting happens, I'll record it. But yeah, we're mostly just chilling. I've got a uni meeting at 9 p.m, which is in an hour and a half or so. And then we'll basically just go to bed. So that's a plan for today. Tomorrow though, maybe visiting Paso University, and we'll also be driving to Arizona. So that should be cool. All right, see you soon. Bye.